Hey, what's up, superchargers, and welcome to the first module. And so in this module, we're going to actually start disengaging your autopilot. And before we do that, first thing I want to do is I want to equip you with one of your super tools. And this is something that I would like for you to take with you, not only for doing this program, but for every part of your life. Before you start making a big decision, you want to actually shift to neutral. And what I mean by that is you want to shut down all of the stuff from the world, all the things in your head. Like, you want to shut down everything. Most likely you just got off of work, or you just started your day. You could have had a bad interaction with someone while you were driving home. And so you want to relax yourself and you want to switch into neutral, because if you don't, one of the things that I've learned is sometimes we can take that hostility, that frustration from other events and apply it into the situation that we're in right now at the moment. And this is a way to shift straight into the present moment. So what I want you to do is just stand up real quick. Stand up real tall. Go ahead, stand up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 breaths. This is what I like to call supercharged breaths. And this is just a great way to neutralize yourself, meaning it's switching you into neutral. You're no longer in a defensive place. You're not in a place where you may be angry, upset. It's just a way to just get you into a normal, calm state. And so let's go ahead and do it. We're going to do 3 deep breaths starting now. Now, what you want to do, as you notice, I'm holding my breath. Even though I'm talking, I'm still holding my breath. And so you want to breathe in deep, and you want to hold your breath for a few seconds. And then, as you notice, if you could hear, I was breathing out of my mouth. You want to breathe in through your nose, hold it, and then you want to breathe out. So let's do it again. Let's do it together. We're going to breathe in for 3 seconds, so just count in your head. Hold for 3 seconds. And release for 6 seconds. So let's try it again. We're going to do it again. This time I'm not going to talk. We're going to just count in your head. Breathe in for 3, hold for 3, and release for 6. And do that 3 times. Let's do it 2 more times. And last time. And don't that feel great? That is a great way to just neutralize yourself. So if you're stressed out, if you have kids and you're like, oh, I need to talk to them about something, and you're just coming from a stressful day at work, use the supercharged breaths every day. If you're in a stressful situation, or if you're just in a situation where you're about to make some major decisions, because this is a great way it's going to neutralize you. And what I mean by neutralize you, think about it in your car, about being in your car. Do you want to try to push your car? If your car is out of gas or something, do you want to try to push it in park, or do you want to push it in neutral so it can easily glide to where you want it to go? And that is the exact same way the body works. You're going to hear throughout this whole program me always referring to the body as a car, because the body is just like the car. And there's certain ways we have to keep it up, keep maintenance on it, and there's certain ways we have to tune up. And this is why in the first part of the tune-up is disengaging autopilot. Because a lot of times we've been in autopilot and we just stay there, and we take those things as if they're just facts. That's the only way the world is, and there's no other option out there, and that's not the truth. So this is how you go back into neutral, so you can just smoothly glide to the destination that you want to get to. And in this destination, we want to smoothly glide to losing weight. And so the best way to do it is before you start taking in any new information, so it's not challenging you, or you're not thinking like, oh, well, that can't be true. There's no way that's going to work. You want to just neutralize yourself. So always do the supercharged breaths and just go into neutral, so then you can start gliding and taking the information in and moving closer to your destination. So in this part is going to be a lot of training. So definitely make sure you have your pen and your paper with you, because it's going to be more technical stuff in this part, because that's what disengaging autopilot is about. So now that we got you in neutral and we got you where I can easily guide you to your goal, let's go deep into it. So I want to talk to you first about nutrition. And the reason about nutrition is weight loss is 80% what we eat, 20% what exercise. So we're not going to focus on the 20% of exercise here. We're only focusing on the 80% of what we eat. because if we can control what we eat, we're going to get 80% of our results. Meaning, you can possibly lose 80% of that excess weight just by controlling what's on your plate. And if you control what's on your plate, then you'll start having more energy. You'll start feeling better. You'll be waking up, getting out of bed with less aches and pains. So just to give you an example, a friend of mine that's here in Colombia with me, I had him doing the Supercharge program for a while because he was having a lot of aches and pains and getting out of bed each morning. And he was like, hey, Jason, I just want to get back to playing tennis. And I was like, okay, I got you. And so I had him doing the Supercharge program. And then one day out of nowhere, he just sent me a text at like 4 a.m, which isn't normal because I'm normally up at 3 a.m. Everybody else get up to around 8 or 9 in the morning. So usually I don't expect any text that early. But he's like, man, I have so much energy. Hey, I got out of bed today to use the bathroom and I didn't even have to bend over. I wasn't aching in pain. And he was like, I'm finna go play tennis as soon as the court open. And I want you to have that type of life also. I want you to text me one day. I want you to write me on Facebook one day like, hey, Jason, I got all this energy. And you're going to be able to do it by focusing on your nutrition. And this is the exact same things that helped me go from 550 plus pounds, not being able to tie my own shoes, needing my wife's help each and every day just to get dressed, to where I am today, to where I do yoga. I walk 180 plus miles. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get the same results as me, but you can get the results that's going to be better for you. And so one of the things I want to talk about first is it's a study. It's called the EPIC study. And so I'm just going to read this off because I want to read this off. And what it is the European Perspective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition Study. And this was a European study where they took 10 European countries for the span of 12 years. And they wanted to see what the nutrition was, what correlation between nutrition and cancer. And you may be saying, I know I can hear you from here. And you're like, Jason, but we're here for weight loss. This isn't about cancer. Yes, but this is what they found when they started doing this study. They found that meat is significantly associated with type 2 diabetes. And remember, this is 10 countries over 12 years. Not only that, they found that fruits and vegetables are associated with less causes of type 2 diabetes. They saw as more people were eating fruits and vegetables, type 2 diabetes went down. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this study with you is because if you're dealing with overweight or obesity, you have a 40 to 60% chance of higher catching diabetes if you're not already suffering with it right now. So this is why, because overweight and obesity is a lifestyle issue that causes other illnesses with it. And so this is very important that we start looking at exactly what we're eating. And so really think about it. What are you eating each and every day? Are you eating a meat-heavy diet? Or are you eating a dairy-heavy diet? Because these things could be one of the reasons that's affecting your inability to lose weight. And so not only that, but Dr. Neil Barnard, who is the founder of the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, he did a study of 100 men that was overweight with type 2 diabetes. He split them into two groups, put them on a low-fat diet and a low-fat diet, no-calorie restriction diet. And when he did that, he saw lower blood sugar levels and lower inflammation levels compared to the people who were still eating animal protein. Like, this is showing that what we eat can affect, what we eat have a direct effect on how we're feeling around with our health and stuff like that. And remember, if you're suffering with overweight or obesity, you're more likely to have other issues such as diabetes, such as heart attack, stroke. You're in a higher risk of those issues because of your overweight and obesity. So this is why these studies are very important. And then the next one I want to talk about is what I learned, and this is from the Nurses Health Study. And this is a study where they followed 51,000 men, and they was following them as they were increasing meat consumption in their diet. By half a serving a day, it increased their risk of developing diabetes by 48%. Not only that, but weekly consumption of meat increases your chances of diabetes by 74% on top of that. So weekly consumption gives you a risk of diabetes at 74%, and just increasing your meat consumption by half a serving a day increases your risk by another 48%. Like, these are really, really important things. And this is why we have to address the nutrition, because a lot of times we want to just like, oh, what can I work out? Can I take a pill? And you can't take a pill that's going to fix, no pill is going to ever fix your habits. Like, you have to start changing your habits to get healthy. And I'm a walking testimony of that. When I changed my habits from a 550 plus pound person to the habits of someone who was healthier, look at me now. Like, this is why I am where I am now, is because I changed my habits. So this is very important. And so this is why you want to always focus on your food when it comes to weight loss, and focus what's on your plate. And this is where every diet company, all these fad diet programs, they're failing you, because they're telling you, oh, just eat this way for a week, and then you're going to start getting the weight off. And the truth is, you can't go back to the way you were eating. You have to create a new normal for your life. And if you don't create that new normal for your life, you're going to go straight back into autopilot, and you're going to go straight back to where you didn't want to be in the beginning, which is why you're here now. So let's just not go there anymore. Let's just commit to today is the last day of being that old normal for you. Today is the last day of you being that person that you no longer want to be. And so let's push it into a manual, and we're going to take the control of the wheel on our own. So what you want to actually start doing with your eating is you want to start taking out the animal proteins and switching them for plant proteins. The other thing you want to take out is you want to start switching out animal dairy for plant dairy, meaning you're going to go from cow's milk to you can use almond milk, rice milk, soy milk. You have coconut milk, which is really good, macadamia nut milk, hazelnut milk. You have so many options out there, so don't feel like you're being deprived. You're just taking away one option and you're giving yourself like a good 10, 12 other options that you can use. So you're getting more options out there. And we're going to go through in later modules why you want to change out some of the things, especially with the protein and stuff like that. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what animal protein is doing to the insides of your body that you're not aware of. And so hope that was helpful for you. Hope you like that part. Make sure you took notes on that, because that part is very important. And so if you didn't get all of it, or if I talked a little too fast, just watch this over and over again. Watch it over and over again. This is how I started learning this stuff and really taking control of my health, because I kept watching this over and over and over again. And so now that we know you're going to start switching from animal protein and animal dairies to plant proteins and plant dairies, let's talk about why do you want to do that. So the thing that most of us don't understand is we have a high level buildup of antibiotics in our system. And it's not because we're taking antibiotics from the doctor. It's because the antibiotics that are naturally in the food and the world that we live in now. We live in a factory farm world, so animals are given tons of antibiotics. About 92% of all antibiotics that are produced in the world are made just for factory farming, meaning it's just to give the animals so they don't get too sick, so they can stay alive long enough to be slaughtered, so they can become food and things like that. So, but what they don't tell us is we're eating these antibiotics on a daily basis. So if you ever been on antibiotics before from the doctor, they tell you, hey, do it for the time. It uses like 7 days. Do it for the 7 days. Don't miss a day. But then you stop after that. But they don't tell us about it in our food. And so we're just getting antibiotics. And that is starting to destroy our gut health. So like if you're suffering from IBS, diverticulitis, or any of the other ulcer colitis and things like that, your gut health is in shock right now. So it needs one thing and one thing only, and that is fiber. So this is what we're going to actually be focusing on in the Supercharge program. You're going to be focusing on fiber. Fiber is the high octane fuel that our body needs. This is the one thing that 95% of Americans are deficient in on a daily basis. And really think about this. I know you're probably still like, Jason, but what about protein? I need my protein. Don't worry about protein. Trust me. Let me guide you through this, and I'm going to get you to the other side. I promise you. So you're not going to worry about protein, because protein comes from all plants, meaning all fruits and vegetables have protein naturally in them. And you don't have to worry about it, because you're going to get way more than enough protein in your diet. Also, by doing the Supercharged smoothie, which you have access to, that guarantees you get more than enough of your protein for each and every day. And so also within the smoothie, it is designed to give you all of your optimal nutrition. The Supercharged smoothie actually covers all 7 steps of the tune-up process. And the reason why I did it that way, I wanted to make sure it's something that you can get simple, quick and very affordable. I don't want you out here spending hundreds of dollars just to get a smoothie. You don't have to go to some specialty health food store in the rich side of town and getting fresh squeezed juices and smoothies for you, spending 30, 40 bucks. And now you're feeling like, oh, okay, can I pay my rent after this? This is showing you how to be healthy without breaking the bank. This is breaking, like with this, I'm tearing down all these little lies that they've been telling us about. Oh, healthy is expensive. The truth is, being sick, being overweight, and continue to be obese, you cannot afford it any longer. Like I'm telling you right now, I started saving so much more money as I started getting my health, and I started realizing being healthy is the most affordable thing that you can do in the world. And so that's why I have the supercharged smoothie in there. And that's why that covers all 7 steps of the tune-up process to make sure that you can get supercharged each and every day. And remember I told you in the intro, you want to get supercharged each and every day. Like you want to see how far can you go. The whole purpose is, and the purpose behind it is because you need to go at least 3 days to get all antibiotics out of your system. You need 3 days without any type of animal protein or animal dairy in your diet to get to a level where you no longer have antibiotics in there. And the reason because of that is because once you take the antibiotics out of your system, your gut flora can start healing itself. And because we're putting fiber in there, which you have been deficient in most likely your entire life, your body is going to start doing something on its own. It's going to start cleaning itself up from the inside out. And so this is the beauty about the Supercharged program. And this is the best thing about disengaging Autopilot. Because once you disengage and you take control, you're going to see how much more power you have in your life, how much more power you have in your health, so you can get to exactly where you want to be. And so your action step for today for this video is, I just want you to go inside the Facebook group, get your supercharged smoothie recipe out of there. It's in the guide section. And I want you to do your supercharged smoothie for the day. Now, once you do it in for the day, you have 2 things you can do. You can go back in the Facebook group, take a picture with your supercharged smoothie, or just put in there, hey, I am supercharged. And just do that today, because getting supercharged is going to be the key to getting to where you want to be.